Hey guys, welcome back to Reticulous Radio. I'm Conrad,
I'm Josh.
and we are gonna do like a segment. I think Josh has some berms he wants to show off to you guys,
Huh,
but no,
what? The one? This one?
yeah,
It's so hard. I don't know. My camera's all messed up. Um, it's an albino green. Um,
let me see if I can like solo layout.
uh,
Is it your monitor lighting? What's up
yep.
with that?
Yeah, because it overpowers the lighting. Because if I'm way
Mm,
back here, even if I get close, I get all kind of distorted.
yeah, like it really like whites out your face.
But yeah, the camera does not do this boy justice.
Typically not for
Yeah.
sure. Like, no, we'll have to like figure out a way to like get him like lit up real fast here when I come out there.
I wish I should have taken a picture of him before the stream, and you could have posted it up on there.
See, I'm not that tech savvy. Okay, Keith is like 100 times better than me, better at this shit than I am.
Oh
So
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
I'm terrible with technology.
like he had us going live to like quite a few platforms, and I can figure out how to do two at most. So
Yeah, yeah. I am definitely not good with technology. Keith ended up being good with technology, and yep, me not so much. My computer as a kid looked like it had a hamster running inside of it.
oh yeah,
But
can you hear me all right?
you're a little crackled up, but yeah, you're all right.
All right, sweet. So we are here to do a what grinds our gears session and the good, the bad, and the ugly of the hobby. And so this kind of last week we talked about with Brendan and Jeremy that that the exotic animal hobby is just so torn. Everyone's torn every which way on variations from what to keep, how to keep, etc. And it's kind of a sad thing to see. Now, with that being said, Josh, you had mentioned something that had that you saw someone say something about.
Uh, yeah, as far as enclosures and stuff, and it seems like it's either new keepers or old keepers that used to keep a certain way and now they're against keeping that certain way. Kind of like it's hypocritical, but mainly it's like everyone. I get it. Everyone wants to keep eventually in a 15 by 15 or 20 by 20. That's awesome. I'm happy for anyone that can do that. And hopefully all of us at one point in our lives can do that. But I see people getting ripped apart all the time on social media, um, where the cage is definitely adequate for the snake they have, but because it's not 15 by 15 or 20 by 20 now, it's not good enough. Um, and it's just
Right.
not realistic. Everyone starts somewhere, and like I said, I know everyone wants to eventually have a zoo type setup, and that's where it comes into you dream. That's you're trying to build your dream, not
Right.
oh, I built my dream in one day. Now my dream is over. It comes over time,
All
but
right.
I just
I
hate whenever people try to rip
as you
people
were
apart.
mentioning that, I just had a whole different kind of outlook that gets brought up a lot. That is something I wanted to touch on. Everyone says that retics and large constrictors are mass produced, right?
Yeah,
Hear me out. So if we change, I'm not saying that we should, but if we change the minimalistic standards that are set like reticulated pythons and stuff, like too larger caging, people wouldn't be able to keep as many. Therefore, they wouldn't be able to breed as many, and then that would also drive the price up per
Oh
animal.
yeah, that'd make the prices sky high.
Yeah, without mass producing. So, do you think it could help with with like the quality of life in the long run?
Oh, for sure, for sure. Retics love to climb, all that, but that's also like how we just discussed, how you just said was that now raises a price, and you got
Yeah,
people that don't want to pay, over $300-400 for a snake. Now that three
right,
four hundred dollar snake is now $1,000 because it costs, figure $5,000 to build that giant enclosure.
right. That
Um,
$100 normal just went up to $700.
yeah, yeah, and then
Now that
people,
would try. I think that I don't know. I'm torn because it's just one of them things. It's like it definitely could better the hobby in some ways, but it's also like you were saying, not everyone can do that. You know.
yeah. Well, I've also seen like say going to certain zoos. I went to a reptile zoo. Um, was it last year? And their larger constrictors were in large enclosures. But now that large enclosure is harder to heat, and they weren't active. Nor would I say they looked very healthy. Whereas in a little bit of a smaller enclosure, like I like the height for retics. But it's just a control, just like for a rack system. You can control the heat better. You can control the humidity better. All in all, your snake ends up a little healthier, unless you have just an absolute perfect setup for a larger enclosure. It just I don't see it really working. Like I said, I'm pushing to be there one day where everything is in giant setups. But
Right.
like I said, you build over time, and if you would see where I was, a couple years ago to where I'm now, and everything, you just keep on progressing. That's the point of it.
But there's some things that you can't throw into giant setups.
Yeah, yeah.
You
But
want to
also
touch on
retics
those?
and larger enclosures I see are sometimes more defensive, um, because it's such a large space. But
Right.
so
So
it's a toss up. Here's the thing: is there are the standards, and then I love to see people go way above them standards, but you can't expect everyone to be where you're at.
exactly. How
Be
how do
happy
you
that
think
people are in the
how
hobby.
well do you think a blood python would fare in a larger setup?
Uh,
They're pretty cryptic. They tend to
you'd probably get
they
bit. You'd get bit more often, I feel, if you went with a larger
I
setup.
I think I don't have any experience on bloods, but from the research I've done, and you know it just doesn't look like it would be such a great idea. It looks like it'd stress them right the hell out.
Yeah, it would definitely stress them out. They like to be in a corner, curled up. I don't know. Like I said, I love to see people go above and beyond, but like like I said, not everybody's on that level, and
Right.
people need to start more or less uh, appreciating the fact that other people love reptiles and all that, because if they didn't, they could be the people that want to kill them. So be happy that there are people that are in our hobby, and so many
Yeah.
people. And like I said, kind of you set the standards, and people see big enclosures are like, oh, I want to do that. Hopefully one
I
day
mean,
they do that.
I mean, I honestly can't afford to right now, but one day I would love to get Buttercup in a nice sized cage. But she's almost 12 feet. She's in a 6 foot long cage. I like you were saying that guy said you know, they must have, a foot of, like enough
Oh,
space to stretch out, is what that guy was trying to say. Well,
yeah,
I just don't ever see that being a realistic standard in the hobby ever.
no,
You know what I mean?
no.
Not everyone's gonna be able to do that for retics, and especially when it comes to breeders or you know people with larger collections. Not just small collect. Not just like
Yeah,
small. Yeah,
yeah,
there's all different kinds of hobbyists. You
yeah,
got your morph collectors, you got your breeders, you got people who want just a bunch of cool different stuff in naturalistic environments. I mean, I mean, literally, you can break down the community in so many different ways.
yeah,
And that's the problem is everyone's trying to shove their way of keeping into everyone else's face.
yeah, yeah. And there's a big difference from a person having one snake and completely going all out. Like I said, I love to see that. It's definitely it's something good to see in a hobby because then that makes me feel comfortable of one day hopefully the snakes I sell end up in something like that. But
Yeah,
it's like I said, it's just an unrealistic expectation to make everyone have to be equal to what you are doing. Because now they're trying to say that the enclosure would have to be as long as your snake. So if it's
right.
15-foot snake, you have to have a 15-foot enclosure. And this is just someone's opinion. I don't know. It just like I said, it sucks for people. You can't have your own opinions nowadays, like at all.
Yeah,
And it's dumb because opinion is literally just that. It's your opinion, how you feel about it. But people want to force that on everyone.
right. There's multiple ways to
Yeah,
what
and like I say,
slice the
compared to how everyone was keeping in the '80s, is 100 times better now, and it keeps on improving.
pie. Okay, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, even up till today, some people are still like keeping in horrible ways.
Yeah,
Horrible. Like you'd think that they don't have Facebook, but the sad thing is most of them have access to more than we did as kids keeping. So they have, and they don't use it. But that's besides the point. Sorry, that's my grinds my gears right there. I'm getting off track on that. But yeah, today's t- t- I would have, I don't know, 15 years ago I wouldn't have been keeping in vibes. I will have been keeping in glass tanks still. I will have tried keeping an anaconda in a glass tank 15 years ago. I almost got a yellow anaconda from someone for $100 back in the
yeah,
day. It was already 4 or 5 foot, and I was gonna put it in an aquarium.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That was the normal back in the day.
yeah.
Or
I mean, I will
with
quickly learn, but
like wooden enclosures, and I'm not talking like nice finished wooden enclosures. They were literally boxes with a vent cut out on the top and just shitty. And like I said, it's improved so much, and that's where the newer keepers they don't see that. They see where we're at now and don't see where it came from. Uh,
right. They just, is there room for improvement?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Always.
there's
That's in
always
every.
room for improvement.
That's in everything.
Um, it's funny. So, okay, if you were to look at this like a hill, right? You got your hill right here. We start like I'm trying to hold my phone at the same time, but we start down by my elbow,
Yeah,
right? That's where we came from. That's
yeah,
where the start of the hobby came from, okay? And let's say we're about at the wrist now. These new hobbyists come in right at the arm, and they don't see what's below. I mean, right at the wrist, and they don't see what's below that.
yeah.
If you see what
All
I'm
those
saying,
snakes can't live in
they
that. Not at all. Like
see
they can.
there's still ways to go. They, you know what I mean?
Yeah. like I said, it sucks that people try to push their opinion on everyone. Even with the virus thing and just keep your opinion, mind your own damn business. Don't be a Karen. And
Yeah, literally, yeah. I mean, if you want to wear a mask, if you don't want to wear a mask, it's not anyone else's damn business what you do with your body. Okay?
yeah,
I get I get there's people, well, if they're not wearing a mask, now it's affecting my body. Okay, well, I wear a mask out
yeah.
in stores and stuff, but I'm
I
not
don't wear a
gonna,
mask
you
to
know how many
respect
people I see that don't wear masks? I'm not gonna go and just like berate everyone who's not wearing a mask
no,
because that's
no.
gonna make me look fucking retarded.
Yeah,
So
it's
it,
hard because, like I said, I
wrong
wear
is
the mask
bad.
out of respect for other people, and also I have kids. Like I said, I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I brought something home, and that wouldn't fly very well with me.
Yeah,
But like I said, it's all comes down to it's a lot of opinions. And then the snake hobby, that's what a lot of it is. Over years, people have they keep snakes. They study how they act, how do they enjoy where the setup they have, or are they eating well, are they shitting well. Um, that's the main part of it. If your snake was not happy or you know uh, content with how it's being kept, it wouldn't eat. It would end
right.
up starving. It would die, or you know just there's a lot of things. So you got to be doing something right if the snakes are living a long period through life. So
So you know how I was telling. Did you just see Tiara?
I don't know.
No, she snuck up. She like ended up standing like right here, and I, you know, and earlier she says she was watch. I was telling you about. She was watching that YouTube video, right?
Yeah.
And it was talking about a certain spider. It says if you don't want this spider crawling on your face tonight, hit that subscribe button. And she did. I'm like, does that really work? She says, yeah. I said, well, then you should just like go subscribe to our channel. Just that, give us, a sub real quick. And she's like, wait, I want to be on YouTube. So she just ran all the way down here. I think that's what she was trying to
Oh
do.
yeah. But yeah. Oh, and then what we were also talking about was the bite videos.
Yeah.
If the only one that I've liked so far was Nerd. Nerd did a great job and they didn't tear that lady apart. Kevin did a great job pointing out what she did wrong, and I love that video because that you could have taken that many ways and talked trash about them, and they didn't, and I respect that a lot, especially them being bigger in the hobby. But
Right.
you get people that are they're posting bite videos or bite pictures, and it's all for a rise out of people. Like you
Yeah.
already know how most people feel about bite pictures,
And
videos of
okay, and that way that lady labeled her video was she was trying to put all the blame on the snake there when
yeah, totally it
so
was
that's okay, so it's how she I get it, no one should have attacked her and threatened her the way that they did.
no,
But I also get the fact that you don't go in. That was a really, really bad, misleading, clickbaity title that said snake unexpectedly attacks or something, right? I can't remember the stupid title,
it was
but it was,
clearly it was in food mode, and that's the whole
yeah.
thing of you have to judge your snakes, and it's you can tell exactly what kind of mood your snake is in. If it's rushing at you, or being very, how would you try to think what word would
Very responsive.
Yeah, that would work.
It's very tuned in to what's going on.
Yeah. She had a hook in front of her that should have already been in her hand. But like I said,
she had a hook. It was there. She should have used it.
Like I said, I really respect them on how they handled that. But if you get bit, if I get bit, I'm not gonna take a video of it or a picture of it. It's just it happened.
Can we play a game of what's underneath the blanket?
Kind of looks like a body.
There is a body under there.
Yeah.
Not a person's body, but it's a body.
You're having the cops at your house saying there's a body in there now.
Huh?
Huh?
There's a body for sure.
No, there's definitely there's protocols on how to take out snakes. Tap training is the way I follow that all the time. Even with my ball pythons, even though I know even if they bit me, they aren't doing nothing. It's just I stay into a routine of this is how I do things, because the time that I don't do something the way that I always do it is when something would go wrong.
Yeah.
Try to stick to a system. Your snakes will learn it over time. They're not dumb. By no means. Huh, right. You're not dumb.
Right. I mean, there's some people that go as far as they only feed on one side of the cage and only pull their snake out and clean them. Using the other.
That's what I do.
I mean, that just is super inconvenient to me. I just use the hook. But I mean, I probably should, even though it's inconvenient to me, because they're not dumb animals once you get them in that routine. But then again, what if you slip up? I just ate a bug. The fuck? Ugh, no.
Protein.
But what happens if you get them into that routine and you slip up and you go to pull them out of the wrong door? Or you go to use the wrong door. So I don't know. Maybe the door thing's a bit much.
I do it. I feed on one side. I pull them out on the opposite. They said they're very smart. They get used to a routine. They know on Sundays it's feed day, and they're all ready. If I would try to clean on Sunday, I would probably get bit. They come shooting out of their things, but that's the whole thing. It's routine. But then on Monday, they're completely fine. So on the snakes that are bi-weekly, if I tried to open them on Sunday, I'd probably get bit. But if I waited till the next day, if they needed clean, clearly it's like that whole thought process isn't there.
Right. Very true.
Like I said, it's routine is good. Routine is good for everything. If you didn't routinely get a shower, you'd smell like shit. Sticking to routine is a good thing.
If you don't routinely brush your teeth, they're gonna fall out of your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, routine's great.
That's what it all comes down to. Even like with the little snakes, it's just routine.
But can too much routine be a bad thing? Hey, it's Jamie.
Oh, what's up? Oh, hey, look, it appears on the screen now.
Yeah, I can highlight it. Isn't that cool? What's up, guys? Joining late, but glad to catch you live. I've been having to catch up later recently. Oh man, that's okay. Thanks for tuning in anyway. It's just us tonight, so
just kind of talking about the hobby. But even like I said, with baby snakes, it's routine. I'd say some of the nicest baby snakes, as far as berms, retics, and even as far as me selling. I try to spend a good bit of time with all the babies, so they get used to being handled.
Right.
Just everything. It's little steps go long ways.
That's for sure. Yeah. Oh man, there was something else that you were gonna bring up. We were talking the video, Kevin's video.
Oh yeah. We were talking about that. Yeah.
Oh no, we were gonna talk about Florida. So Florida, passed their exotic animal ban. And I'm not quite sure how it's gonna look. I heard like people like Tom Crutchfield and Will Mace are gonna be having to close down, but I've heard the opposite. Wait until the kids are.
Oh yeah. No, my kids, cause I got a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and my son loves to hold them, and that helps out with anytime I go to a show. Even if a little kid wants to hold it, I tell them don't. 90% of the time you wouldn't have to worry about anything because my kids hold them quite often. But yeah, definitely it comes in handy to have kids, especially that love reptiles.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait till Lily's older because she's like not even 3 yet, and she's constantly always trying to be in Larry Tick's face, and I'm like, no.
It's all on. It's all on how you teach them. Just teach them the right ways to do things. And it goes a long ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kids with snake. That's the next generation of the hobby is all the kids. So I love to see whenever kids are getting into it, because that just shows that it's going to continue.
Yeah. I used to, I used to get pictures of like my daughter and the kids like interacting with the snakes and stuff, but I got attacked that one time. Shouldn't ever let kids near a retic, yada yada yada. Got called irresponsible. Got told I was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And
some people take it too far. Like oh hell yeah. I don't know. Some people were just they take it too far.
I don't really dig the sight of my own blood, so your kid probably handled it better than me.
That was like Blaze. We went herping the other day, and there was a little water snake, and he seen it before I did. I don't know how. I'm the one that flipped over the piece of wood, and I was like, "Oh, nothing there." I was kind of shocked because I was like, 100% there's something under there. And I walked away, and my son's like, "No, it's dead. There's snakes literally right in the middle." I don't know how I missed it, but it was a normal a water snake, and I'd picked it up, and he was like, "Oh, I want to hold it," because he was the one that found it. So I handed it to him, and it bit him, which they don't even have really teeth to even penetrate. But he thought it was. He came home and he had to tell Carly that, "Oh, I got bit by my first snake, and it didn't even hurt." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's right. It's just it's more or less a mind thing because even with getting bit by something bigger, you don't feel it. You truthfully don't feel it. It's more of a shock at first. Than anything. But some people just freak out and take it way too far.
Right. Next thing you know,
I've been bit by a dog, and the dog hung on to the back of my leg, and that was the worst pain I'd say I ever went through. More or less, not when it bit me. It was the days after of so I didn't know, which I wish I knew. You're not supposed to cover a dog bite because there's saliva. I cleaned it and everything, but I'd wrapped it up and it caused it to get infected. So they had to take one of them suction cup things and re-break open the wound, and that sucked. But I'd say that was worse than the actual initial bite from anything. Yeah. The funniest is whenever people have tattoos and stuff and are scared to get bit. Like, do you realize how many times that you realistically would have gotten bit? I don't know.
Just needle comparison. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah, that's a lot of little pinprick. Not, I wouldn't say compared to a big ass snake, but you still can handle a baby bite. Baby snake. Like, oh, I have an aggressive baby Burmese. Like,
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Shit, back to Florida. Hold on. So, a couple of things. What was brought to my attention first?
What's that?
So I personally used to see a lot more blue racers than I've been seeing. And that's one thing I was really hoping to get some pictures of, were some blue racers. I haven't seen a single one this year. I've talked to multiple people that also haven't seen a blue racers, so I'm really hoping they're not like on the downfall. I know a few people who have seen them and rather often, but it's typically like the same person that's on their property. Other than that, I don't know. I just haven't been seeing many. Have you?
So the other day we were out on our bikes because lately we've been trying to do every morning. We go on about a 4-mile bike ride with the kids because I need to lose some weight. I put on some weight over all of this, but so my son's riding. Well, Carly first thought she seen a snake, and she waited till we were a little bit past it to tell me. By the time we got back, it was gone. So my son starts pedaling up, and he's like, "Oh, snake!" And I'm like, "You're kidding!" I'm like, "What's the coincidence?" Within like 10 feet, he sees another snake, and I ride up, and it was a pretty big black rat snake. And it was funny because my son's sitting there, he's directing traffic whenever bikes would come. He'd make sure that they seen the snake and would go out and around it. And we got the snake over into the weeds and, just off the trail. But no, dude, I swear I barely see any anymore. I don't know if it's I have perfect eye vision. I don't know what it is, but my son crushes me on finding snakes. He spots them everywhere, and I don't spot any.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel kind of shitty whenever I'm out there, and he definitely he does the main part of the finding. I find a few, but he's definitely the one on the ball, and I'm slacking.
Yeah, you
gotta take a kid out, and especially like I think it was me and you or Tom, was their height level helps them out too. They're that much closer to the ground, so they're they're seeing things a lot quicker than we are.
I swear, I used to find a shit ton more when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I know I've fucking boasted about morel season to you 100 times this year. You probably heard me talk about morel, but I mean morel season's over now, and I swear I used to find more when I was way closer to the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I remember my mom and her boyfriend used to always bitch about us kids always finding more than they did. Well, now it's all starting to make sense. We're becoming the old people.
Yeah. It's kind of scary.
Yeah. And yeah, Jamie, that sucks. What you're from Pennsylvania though, right? Or Ohio?
I think she's from Ohio.
Ohio, you should have like a bunch of cool stuff. You should have what? You have your garters. You should have smooth greens. You should have racers. You should have fox snakes. You should have black rat. You should have more than Michigan does. You should have like yeah, Ohio. So you should have like in between I don't know, about almost as many different species as oh, you guys also have the Lake Erie water snake or like yeah, you guys got like a bunch of cool species. That's like a really small locality out
Yeah, yeah, there's definitely there's a ton of stuff around here.
there. Eastern Massasauga, like
But my record when I was a kid was a little over 80. I think it was like 86, 84, 86 snakes caught in one day. There's no, dude, I've tried to pull off those kind of numbers and I can't. Like, there's no way. But I don't know if the numbers have gone down or if like we're getting old and we don't even see them half the time.
too populated around us. If we go out to the lake, we may see some, but very rarely. Well, that's why you gotta like not just any old lake. So I'm not too familiar with Ohio. I'm not gonna lie, it's the horse's ass state. But like I guess you guys have a lot of fields, right? There's a lot of farmland that's kind of flat.
Oh, what?
Ohio, it's pretty flat, right?
Ohio?
Yeah.
I don't know. Ohio's pretty big. There's flat parts, there's mountain parts, it's like Pennsylvania. Oh no. It depends on where you're from in Ohio with mainly. Because like
I
this
never paid attention driving through Ohio. Why?
The Montour Trail is one of my favorite places to go. The Panhandle Trail.
Yeah, she's right next to West Virginia's northern panhandle, about 45 out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Yeah, Panhandle Trail is a real nice one to go on. I'll go in and I get into the creek or creek or whatever anyone wants to call it, and just walk straight up it. Then you'll find little banks and start flipping rocks, and there you go. But like I said, my one favorite spot, what I think it is, they got rid of the beaver dams, and I think that's where a lot of the snakes would be laying their eggs and all that stuff, and then they float downstream. Well, now the beaver dam is further down, and I found a lot more past the beaver dam. Now there's nothing where it used to be. So I wonder if that's a big cause of kind of find a beaver dam and then go downstream, and you'll usually find stuff pretty quickly.
Yeah, so when we come out there, we're attacking herping a different route. I mean, when I come out there.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Whenever you come here, I definitely have a good bit of spots to take you to. Because that's like, we even found a new spot yesterday. We kind of took it easy. We only went 1.5 miles on the bike. It was kind of the rest day. And we went up, found a nice swimming hole, and then me and Blaze walked up further and found some nice little spots and found a couple of snakes. But since I decided to take my phone underwater to take pictures, it now doesn't work, so my pictures don't turn out for shit.
But
all right, so just if anyone out there has a Google Pixel 3, don't believe the whole waterproof bullshit. Because I'm kind of pissed. It took really nice pictures underwater, clear as hell. But an hour later, my screen's all fogged up. I've tried rice, and yep, Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do it. Now I need to find a new phone. Cause I like taking my camera bag and all that, but whenever we're on the bikes, we have a book bag full of Gatorade, water, snacks for the kids. We take a lunch every day out for the kids, so it's kind of hard to do a camera bag plus a book bag. It would just too much.
Yeah, I mean, I have to like figure out how to get a bike out there.
What's that?
I have to figure out how to like get my hands on a bike while I'm out there.
Yeah, well, whenever you get down here, what we'll do, because it'd be easier for us to get to different places too, if we go out on the bike to find stuff.
Right.
So, but like I said, when I ride with the kids, we gotta take lunch for them, and kids like to eat every like half an hour.
Oh, I'm familiar with that.
Dude, we made it to the trail, and we might have made it a mile down it, and Blaze pulls over. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "We're stopping for lunch." I'm like, "We only rode a mile." I was like, "We ride halfway and eat." So what we did this time, we took each kid 1.5 sandwiches. So we'd get a mile down, let them eat a half a sandwich, and then get halfway, let them eat another half, and then once on our way back, eat the other half. Yep. Yeah. I even watched YouTube videos of them taking the Google Pixel underwater and all that. And don't recommend it. Especially it's like a $1,200 phone, and now I just broke it.
No, it's broken.
So
haven't you been meaning to get a new phone anyway?
I'd like something new. The Google Pixel at the time had one of the best cameras, but
so what you got to do is you got to legit like take your phone all the way apart. Like I don't know if it's got a battery pack you can take out.
Nope.
No, the battery's installed. Like and you can't. Okay.
Yep.
Wow,
yeah, there's nothing I could do to it.
I was gonna say because mine, I had Rice work one time and it was the phone I'm using now.
Yeah. Oh no, like I said, my phone still
actually
works. I can make calls. It kind of doesn't always want to open or hang up on phone calls. I called Keith the other day, and I couldn't hang up, and his voicemail picked up. I left a really long, weird voicemail of me saying like, "Nope, it didn't hang up yet." And it just went on and on. But I sent a long thing to Google about it, or the Google Pixel review. I don't know. I haven't been really. I loved the phone when I first got it, and it just went downhill after different upgrade or updates. Just everything. I don't know. But I guess how everything with technology is it seems really good in the beginning, and it's meant to break or start to malfunction, so you have to go and buy a new one.
Yeah, nothing. That's one thing I've even noticed with like our equipment. We're constantly having to buy outdoor equipment, and it's just nothing's built like it used to be. We live in a consumer run country, so
nothing's built to last. Like I said, it was weird that my phone didn't mess up until I did
a new model next year.
And the crazy part, whenever they produce one model, they're already coming out with the next model, instead of just doing that to the model they already produced. It's the whole thing of that's how they make sales. But
yeah, that's for sure. It sucks, but
for sure. But that's just how it works. That's the world we live in.
Was there anything else you wanted to touch on before we wrapped it up for the night?
I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, because we talked about keeping and all that. And then, like I even said with rack systems, there's people that are against rack systems, which I used to be until I owned one. And the way that you can keep the temperature, everything, and it's so much cleaner. You can take the tubs out, wash everything down. It's nice.
Yeah.
I don't really I'm not a big fan of the minimalistic of just paper. I like to do rep the chip and stuff like that. But hey, what works works.
Right. And I use paper just because it's easier to clean. So.
Yeah, and like I said, I feel like stuff like that, it's a little more sanitary because you're pulling out all the paper.
Right.
Every time, wiping everything down.
But at the same time, with rep the chip, they're not soaking all the rep chip when they pee.
Yeah. And even, all right, so I'm not a big fan of tanks, but like we said years ago, people kept in tanks. If you do it right, there's nothing wrong with it. My biggest thing is people that don't clean their enclosures. That's my only pet peeve against anyone. Keep shit clean. Once, twice a week, if more, whatever. Just keep it clean. Your snake sheds, don't let it sit in there for a week or two. Clean it. Clean it that day. If my snake sheds, I pull it out and it's clean. I don't know. That's my only thing that I kind of can't stand is whenever just keep them nice and clean.
Yeah.
You wouldn't let your dog sit in piss or shit or, clean it.
Yeah, clean your fucking shit.
That's what it comes down.
I mean, okay. So one thing I will go as far to say that's extremely unacceptable is housing more than one retic in an enclosure.
Yeah.
Unless, okay, well, I guess size matters. Size matters. Okay, people. Here, you heard it here first. But that's besides the point. Like, for who was it? Topher Davis and Stephanie. When they went in their house to go, when animal control got called and the dude went in there to remove all the snakes, he found what it was like 20 retics in a 20-gallon or something. It was like an insane amount, wasn't it? Like,
yeah,
just a tiny, and half of them were dead. And it was gross. And yeah, don't do that.
It's sad.
I mean, hatchlings are one thing, right? People house like hatchlings for the first.
Yeah. Until they shed, all my hatchlings, they stay together. Once they shed, they get pulled apart and they all get fed.
But these were retics that were in various stages of life.
Hey, and they were not. Yeah, they were not babies anymore.
I just want to clarify that because people are like, well, what if they were hatchlings? No,
yeah. They do better. Coming out as we've tried separating before, and either way, it doesn't really hurt them to separate, but they seem to do a lot better and quicker with a food response when they are housed as hatchlings until their first feed. But my biggest thing is I see people taking pictures and you see their dirty ass enclosure in the background. Why didn't you didn't even clean it for a picture? Like, what makes I don't think you ever cleaned that.
You didn't even try.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel that for sure.
But yeah. Who's on next week, Dylan?
Huh?
Is Dylan on next week or?
Yeah, Dylan will be on next week. Yes, we got Dylan joining us next week. Yeah, I was really hoping Alex and Keith could have joined us today. Then we could have focused more on like the HBH thing.
Yeah.
But we will eventually get to that.
Yeah. Things keep on coming up. It seems like this is I don't know. It's summertime. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is. So when we were streaming in winter, it was one thing because there's not shit to do. First off, in the middle of winter, let's be real. There's nothing to do. But then, like we started going into the summer, and it was cool. Coronavirus kicked in, and then life started getting a little hectic. So,
yeah, pretty much wintertime. Wintertime, it seems, this is what you do half the time. You sit in your house. In summertime, I like to be outside a lot. And whenever I'm outside, things go wrong, or cars break, or just something.
right.
They said my mom's vehicle broke last week. I blew up Keith's vehicle.
Keith's vehicle.
Yeah. I was borrowing vehicle because my vehicle is blown up and it's in the garage right now. And I was borrowing one of Keith's extra vehicles, and it blew up on me. So now I have more vehicles to fix.
Right.
I hate vehicles.
Oh yeah. Well, we should wish these guys a happy Independence Day tomorrow. I know we're doing like fireworks and okay, it wasn't about it. It was about it. It was a pig body. We're getting ready to do that. That's the pig for the roaster tomorrow. It's under blankets and it's got a bunch of ice on top of it. It's a 200-pound pig.
Yeah.
That we're gonna throw on the roaster.
Cool.
Yeah.
Some ham.
Huh?
Send me some ham.
Dude, I don't know how to ship food. But if I did, I would. Because we're going to have tons of leftovers. So I said,
We just tried something new. I forget what. It's not fresh. It was a place that sends you food. It's pretty good. A what?
Schwann's?
No. They ship you a full meal. I don't remember what it was, but there's like Fresh Foods is one of the companies. And then there's another. But we had some kind of cherry meatballs. It was fire. One of the best things I've ever eaten.
Okay, so do you have a same here? Usually don't come in until the sun goes down.
Yeah, that's it. Summertime. And I try to keep the kids outside. I don't like them being inside in summertime.
So tomorrow I think we've already put like $2-3 grand worth of into fireworks for the residents here. We're gonna do the pig roast. Normally we have a lot more people, so we bought a bigger pig anticipating that, and then we realized that we didn't really invite.
Hey, you know what you should do? You should set your phone up and go live on here. So for people, because I know a lot of places aren't doing fireworks, just so if people want to come on and watch, just leave it live.
I'll have it.
Or on your own.
I go live to YouTube or Facebook at that point.
No, it don't really matter. Yeah, I guess Facebook would probably be better.
I could probably do that. It's only me, Dom, and our buddy lighting off all the fireworks. We normally have a few of them like blow up.
I'm just saying that because they said, dude, I know none of my local, nothing. There is no fireworks. So we went out. We spent money today on fireworks, and but yeah, I only spent, half of that amount.
No, that's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll
if kids, let kids watch fireworks.
Maybe I'll do it on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
There we go.
I don't know.
Because I know like our city even canceled their fireworks show. So
yeah. Oh, we don't have any. None of our townships are doing it. We watched a guy walk out with probably $6 grand in fireworks today. And the one lady asked where the party was at. And he was just putting it on for his family because, kids like to see fireworks.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah, maybe put it on live so if anyone has kids and they can't make it out or they can't set off fireworks in their state, Yeah, let the kids watch the fireworks.
For sure. I just wish I had like a better camera. Like I said, we can only get up to like 3-inch mortars, so it's not like they're the big cool ones or anything.
Whenever you come down here, we'll have to go to the fireworks store.
The fireworks store.
But you can buy some big stuff. But
All right.
all right, well, I say we call it a night, and
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Especially
next time. Hopefully, my luck changes with vehicles.
Yep.
Till
All
then,
right. You guys have a happy 4th of July weekend. Happy Independence Day. I don't know. Some people are picky on what they call it, but
yeah,
enjoy
enjoy the day.
enjoy the day,
Whatever you
weekend.
want to call it.
If you don't quarantine. Yep. You as well. Have a good night, Jamie. Gotta go feed the snakes. All right. So